I look like a completely different person, Amy. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Completely different person? What do you mean?
I don't look like me. There's something energetically different. And sometimes you may not be able to see what you look like or accept it. Will you reject it? Will you accept it? This new frequency that's coming on the planet is something that is different because hi, from Ireland. Wonderful. You're going to be moving into a state of energy that maybe you don't quite understand. Now, why am I doing this gallery issue thing? Here we go. Let's just take a deep breath. There's a lot. Is F. Again, I don't know who I'm turning into, but will I reject it? Oh, there goes my earring. On the planet. Some of you may be freaking out. You have a choice, a big ass choice. So I'm going to have to explain what that big ass choice is. I think that's what part of what I'm doing today. I don't know how else to explain it except for I'm going to do my best. I have to get to the right page so that I can say hello to people. This is such a bizarre feeling. A lot of you are going to go back into your dark night of the soul, which are going to be tested. You will be tested to the core. And the question is, do you know what's going on? Can you handle it? Do you have tools to help you get out of it? This will be a very big step for you. The question is, do you have enough tools? Do you have enough tools? That's interesting. My one show is supposed to come live. You're going to have to listen to me, and I will do my best to describe the frequency. You have the light language. It's good. From the UK. Awesome. Here we go. Oh, no, wait. They're saying, wait a second. And apparently we're waiting for, I don't know what, a few more people. Right now, in the United States, energy is shifting. Globally, collective consciousness is shifting. The question is, are you going to align to the dimension of your intentions or your old programs to have a new, who in the hell am I? That's me rejecting this new energy because I'm like, what's this pink? My lips have always been the same color, but now all of a sudden I look like a whole new. Fine. Just breathe. Your new dimension that you're stepping into it's happening right now. So you have got to be more mindful of your flippant thinking. You need to become more mindful. What do I mean by that? It's I'm a good person. I hold these values and true. This is what I believe. Next minute, the other side of you. God, did you see them today? Oh, geez, to yourself because we're coming into this new energy where they become married. But if your emotions that you put with the words will actually tell you a little bit more of what you're focusing on. If you are just having a mask about, I'm going to do everything I can to be grateful and wonderful person, and I'm going to show love, and then the next minute you're like, God, what quotient? I'm not talking about intelligent. I'm talking the ability to define words, the ability to use words, using that intention and your spiritual quotient. You're getting ready you're being asked to upgrade these. Okay? If you have a particular outcome, this is what a child does live in right now. That is what we're moving out of. You don't need to do self-preservation. You don't need to go into loss. You don't have to do the grief. You don't have to go into that energy of, oh my God, I got to manipulate, control, and No, you are born a narcissist because that's just the best way to describe it. And the first 7 years of your life, you're downloaded with programs of everything in your space. The next 7 is to consciously wake up to this, become self-conscious, not in a fearful sense, but you do. It isn't until you get older that all of a sudden you're like, damn, these programs, or I'm not going to do that. But yet, if your emotions are saying, I'm not going to do that, you are emotionally invested, creating spiritual debt. This emotional of, I'm not going to be that. Okay. Can you feel that emotion? Here's the problem. Hi, Crystal. If you don't understand that that energy is over there and you're trying to create a life, there's going to be a big problem, because the two sides are trying to devote how you're going to live your life. You're going to be split in confusion, because confusion is meant to wake you up. But if you have no idea that these two sides are going on, you're going to become the dark night of the soul. These are programs that you have to wake up to. You got to become conscious of. You have to get more competent in of going, I don't want to do that anymore. So you're going to learn to take your energy back. You're going to learn to stop living in and expecting people to show up that way so you feel comfortable. Did you hear what I said? If you have an expectation that, oh, Amy should just be happy. Why is she being such a bitch today? Oh my God, did you see that? Oh, geez. Because if you don't realize that you're sitting there judging, you're going to create the mirror to the aspects around you. And if these people are all unhappy, where is it that your root cause is that you are unhappy, but maybe you overcome? Overcoming, I'm not complaining about it too much, except for the fact is if you don't know, you split yourself, you're going to have one hell of a dark night of the soul, and that hangover is not going to be fun. You're creating the marriage. I was reading recently that it is said that we naturally go into the shame brain, and I found it to be enlightening, because if there is an area of our brain that's actually lighting up, we're going to be doing that with our more of a go-to. And if we go to this sleep process, well, then we will become more of a negative bias. And that you're still not taking care of where you put your energy in and investing to keep that loop alive. You need to break that loop. Use the tools in your toolbox. Go a little bit further. Shame activates that part of the brain, that anterior insula, the anterior cingulate cortex. Sometimes physically, to feel the shame, it actually creates physical pain. But you can feel that with anxiety, panic attacks, your body only responding to all of your programs. That is a continued story, an unresolved issue, where your energy is invested, how you learn to overcome every time you've reacted, all of these little things. If you stay in the program, then you have to go through the prostitute, the self-saboteur, the victim, and the child of many different ways. You are breaking out of these extremes of these archetypes. Can you wake up? Yes. Have I seen people wake up? Yes. Have you have to stay in that dark night of the soul forever? You could. Or you can begin to notice that you get to choose. That fifth chakra is about choice. The biggest thing that you're going to have on this planet right now is this. What? You didn't know that? What, are you stupid? No, I don't know why you're acting that way. This is what we're doing. Or you're commenting because your politics is mimicking somebody else. Or the idea is that they know everything, but they have never gone outside of the circle to learn more. So what does that mean? That means they're going to create limited choices. They're going to create limited information, and they're going to just learn how to live within that. Now, you have to be careful of your movie mind. Pay attention. are to believe everything you say, because what happens in the movie mind is that you're going to borrow it. So let's say Amy and I are chatting away and obviously she says, oh my God, I watched a movie, blah, 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 and it was really negative. Or she says, oh my God, and then she tells me about somebody that was really negative. I'm going to be borrowing those pictures. They're not my experiences, but I'm borrowing them because I'm putting them in the data center of my first, second, and third chakra. What does that mean? That simply means they're my data centers. They're my level of consciousness of survival, stability, and security. And if I collect all of those negative things, like for instance, just simple talking. Oh my God, I got the scar on my leg when I was 4 years old. Amy will go, oh, I got this as a child. Oh, I was not a child. Well, again, if you lead with Woundology, you're going to create a trauma buddy. It's not going to raise your level of consciousness. There's nothing wrong with bonding, but if it is on a negative aspect of it, you can learn that you got on the same wavelength. She's going to understand me. But if you live and take up a residency in this negative state, and then that's the only thing you know how to talk about. Okay, so now the next time I want to talk to Amy, what can I talk about? What do we have in common? Oh yeah, I fell the other day. Yeah, so I'm going to start going back to all these negative thinking instead of allowing yourself to develop that relationship. There's so many things. There's so many things you can do. You got to understand this. That movie mind, if you do not become aware that you borrow stories from history, from others, in your encoding of your own cells of for me, being a woman, for Ken, it's being a male, but I'm white, somebody be a different color, different nationality, different background, different culture. You're all going to have an encoding. And if you have any continued stories or unresolved issues, it will come up for you to resolve because it's your turn to see how you will resolve to evolve your soul. Borrowing thoughts, borrowing memories, the movie mind. Be very careful. Oh my God, so-and-so is going to do this. Have they shown signs of it? Yes, they. And then here comes your proof. They haven't quite made it. But these are things that you're going to say, that they have the potential, but have they done it? No. But they're going to. Are they? Do you know that for a fact? Well, it happened in history. It's going to happen again. Wait. Has it really happened? And you're going to stay in judgment and you're going to line yourself up in the movie mind and you're going to line up with that dimension that is very unhealthy. Turn and go inward. Heal those emotions that tie you to have such great passion with anger and fury, resentment, guilt, shame, or having to dish it out because you know what? I'm not going to let you do that to me. Quotient. The spiritual quotient, the mental quotient, so that your physical quotient can increase. And I'm not talking about weightlifting. I'm not talking about eating right and living longer. I am talking about your physical energies. This is how I see it. Yin-yang. Okay? Meridians. You have liver and gallbladder. Yin-yang. You have inside of an element that needs support, gives support, or controls. But if it is starting to reverse, then you start getting the negative story. And then you start collecting proof. And then your life force will do this. I can't tell you countlessly how many times I can look at your system and I can see the story of those particular moments. So this, because the body's consciousness holds all of the history, and you're looking at my subconscious mind. Now, when I ask you, hey, have you ever felt envy? Oh, wait, don't look at me. I don't do that. Somebody else does. Then you're in victim mode and you're still asleep and your ego is saying, uh-oh, she just hurt my feelings. Then this show is not for you. But if you're wanting to grow and get out of all of those patterns, the things you see and the strategies, you're going to say, I know that program. And then slowly you'll begin to hear the words. And then you're hearing what you're feeling. And then as you're hearing it, it's going to hurt because you're leaving out that spiritual aspect of yourself, the emotion, so that your emotional quotient will rise, so you can have a high emotional intelligence. Do you understand? I thank you all for being here. Now I've got to get to the right board so I can actually see other people. We have the one. We're going to now begin to start emailing me. Okay. Begin to start emailing me, and we'll get to those emails. If you want a healing, it's $23 because you're going to get something out of it. You're not just going to get information. I hope you get something else out of it. I want those. Come on. As you begin to wake up, you get to make a choice. And that becomes the hard part. Will you go back to sleep? Will you just be a program? Or will you allow yourself to go into the unknown and make that known? It does not have to be bad. And I've got something that's running. Oh, didn't mean to make myself disappear, but I got something running and it's dinging away and it's thinking, I think it's me. So hopefully I won't lose everything. I got to get this to stop real quick. What's causing it? Aha, that might be it. All right, let's get back to the main screen. Let's try this again. Okay. I know.
Losing theirs and blaming it on you.
Hold on.
If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take that poem. I'm going to put that up on my wall so you can hear the rest of it. But did you just hear he reinforced what I said? It's a deep poem. That's something needs to be looked at. Was not expecting that to happen, but spirit is great. Do you have to have that be your master? Absolutely. You are going to begin to become aware, because I don't want you to have to follow fear. I don't want you to have to go there. It's a choice. I just want you to come back. Just to come back. I have such issues trying to get to my page every time, and I don't. So, Amy, if there's anything good and juicy that people are talking about, they have a question, you might have to deliver that for me, because I'm looking at the one room. Now, some of the rooms are not going to be able to answer, or you can answer, but I won't be able to see them. So you may want to email. If you have something in particular, email it, because I can also bring that up on another show. We can do this.
I'm seeing a lot of, I understand.
Good. That helps. Because I don't know if Kate and Elaine and any of those, Buffy, I don't know if they're here. Oh, okay. Okay, so Buffy will list their programs. They are emotions. They are actual feel-like symptoms. This is so bizarre. I cannot get in. And it's just an old program. I get it. I have to get out and start again. An old program. If you are going in and it looks the same, you may have to reset. That's exactly what we're doing on the planet. You may have to sit back and just clean your mind, go do something else, get your ego busy somewhere else, so that it can allow you to, that you're disconnected from spirit. But if you can allow yourself to disconnect and reconnect to your higher self, you will be amazed at how all of a sudden, like when the kids, I'm bored. Oh, we got dishes to do. Oh, wait, no, I got something else. Yeah, I got something. And then they go and they find something to do. you can be surprised by what you don't want to do. You can find something wonderful to do, and you can come up with some really awesome ideas. And it's important we start to support this. Now, interesting enough, I just heard someone say, well, okay, what do I mean by that? It is part of, you didn't know that? Or, look, you just put something stupid up. The only strange part is you can't really go out and enjoy the walk because you're not sure, because I live and get our food delivered and then we wash it and go from there. So what does that mean? It means like if I were going out and I'm complaining that the government's taking over. Now, again, that's dimensional alignment. What's the movie mind? What are you going to do? Where do you want to line up? This is very important to understand. We are moving into a new direction. You have to be okay of understanding every step you take. Somebody is going to say that's stupid because they're not doing it. Somebody will say, you shouldn't do that. Okay. But what if that you're meant to hear and to wake up? Now, this is where it gets confusing. Do you follow the conspiracy theorists? Do you follow, maybe this is all a joke? But how can a government tell you how serious it is? Fear can work to some degree, but you have to become aware that when if I trust spirit, okay, that's going to protect my car and my belongings, I'm not going to put my wallet full of money out on top of the hood. And God's got this. I don't need to test it that far. Okay. Amy, did your head just spin?
No, my leg just throbbed.
The reason why is because it shot up through my spine and hit my head, and it was like I didn't really know what that was even about. This is annoying. I can't even get on to see who's even with us. Annoying as all get out. That's okay. So you have to understand you're going to line up to your old program or to your new one. You are in a reset and you get to choose. And then you can create high beta, those emotional chemical peptides that can make you sick. We want you to stop being sick. Okay, so Amy, if you could check to see if a Karen Frank and a Kay Daniels. Now,
are you emails? Is that what you're?
Yeah, check. Now, Karen, if you have emailed us, we will have that and we will give those readings. Okay, you're lucky that I can see this because I can't even get onto the other boards, and I've got 6 other boards running. And so, that's why we don't really say, hey, ask, just start to email us. That way I can connect with all of you and you'll all get a reading. If that makes any sense. So you have to really work with me because they keep changing the rules, which is exactly what's happening with Spirit right now. Everything keeps changing. Am I even live on there? I can't find it anywhere. I just opened my big board and you said you can see people.
Which page are you talking?
They changed. Yeah, I guess I found it. I had to go to wow, I actually had to go. They moved it. Which is exactly what's happening with Spirit right now. I imagine it is happening with Spirit right now. Yeah. Wow. Okay, hey, we got 29 people in the room. Okay.
Okay, I have PayPal for you.
Oh, help. But I got a small room. Hey, there's Patricia, Diana. Wonderful. Wonderful. And like
I have Hilly, I have Jess, I have Casey, I have Amanda, I have Sonia, I have Stephanie, and I have Angela. Those are the emails that I have. Okay, so Karen Franks, you're like I said, you're lucky that this part of the thing is working. Do you see this email? Okay, mws4u@dr.com. This is where you get to ask what you want to ask, and then I can, if it's a billion things, I'll have to only pick one to talk about. But other than that,
that is how I know that you will get your reading, is if it comes through the email. And now my other computer is not working. At least this one's working. Did you say somebody's paid?
Actually, you should have one. I have one.
Michelle, who came first?
Michelle.
Michelle, are you going to come on to the show? If so, remember. Oh, wait. Is that the right one? No. Is this the right? Sorry, I probably got the wrong Zoom number. It's 121, right?
21, yeah.
Sorry if you have been trying to get into the Zoom room. We have got to. I'm double checking the number. Yes, that's the number. 121-893-288. So, Michelle, if you're coming on, Angela, if you're going to come on, understand that you can. That would be beneficial to you greatly. It really would. I am still frozen. Okay, I'm just going to reset. Thank you, Spirit. Realizing that, yes, I don't have to have my winners, but guess what? I really need, yeah.
Came to me. So we'll have to, after
How
the
did
show.
you get it? Okay, anyway, here's Michelle. Michelle, I got to unmute you this way. Did it work? Gotcha. Now talk.
Hi, Brenda.
Yay, it's working. Okay.
Hello.
First, that is always beneficial. So how did your son, did he think, oh, mom threw me on? But did it help with that reading?
Look. I hope so. I've got to keep reminding you.
Yeah. And the thing is that, remember, he's fresh, he's young, he's growing, and he's still going to be in a lot of these programs. But how you set your example about how you're going is going to make a major difference to him, because if all he ever sees is negative thinking, he's never going to get out of it. But he's always got another option to look to, which is the best thing. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Wow, Spirit has been challenging you lately. They said that you have an ego program that I think you're becoming aware of just recently. Can you feel it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And they said, very good. And notice that it's also linked. Is it linked? Oh, it's what you do toward yourself. So whatever that is, you turn the mirror toward yourself, and then you do a little bit of pouting. Your 5-month-old self. So let's find out what's going on with the little child. It feels attacked. Now, as the adult, can you feel being attacked?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you
to myself.
okay, so feeling attacked and pouting. And if you when did you turn it toward yourself? When you became 14. Ooh, that's really about a lot of hormones. Okay, so not only did you wake up, but now it's like, oh, time to blame yourself. Aha. This one is, you've heard enough criticism that it's got to be my fault.
Mm.
Okay, so convincing that somehow, what have I done wrong? It's my, okay, so that's what that one is. That's where you have to focus on the feeling, because this is, everything I'm explaining is what's really stored in your heart. So you don't want to be confident enough, because why would you want your heart crushed? Ooh, okay. So there's a part of you that believes it so wholeheartedly. You're like, oh, it's a barrier. But they're saying that you trained yourself that I believe what people say to me. Program, I have to become something out of sympathy. So can you see people around you acting a certain way, and then you go in and go, oh, okay. Do you see what I'm saying? It's
I think more. I'd like to think that I've done that more in the past. I feel like I'm coming through this, but slowly.
Yes, that's good. And what it means is, even though you're coming through it and you'll be awake, you still got to take care of the root. Okay?
Yeah.
Because it'll keep popping up until all of a sudden you get that right amount of feeling and experience. The third chakra. And it's about instability. So it's not the safety and the security as much as it's the instability. So every time when you start feeling something feel a little uneven, a little bit of rockiness, a little bit of disturbing is the word. And I'm asking, okay, well, how do you know? And they said, because you will feel the feeling of make to feel like shit. And if you didn't notice, you went up and you just saw a few pictures. But at the same time, you also went out and did the construction zone. You're trying to construct what I'm talking about. So let's go into a little bit deeper so you can actually feel the feeling. Well, what do you know about lucky? You feel lucky or you feel unlucky. Have you heard people talk about luck? That you feel lucky. And then there are times that you go into this hoping, which then causes you to go into ego, because hoping is not the same as hope. Hoping's that end fear where you're already in ego, you're already in pain, and you want your luck to change, but awkward. And you said, I can't get my hopes up because it's not going to work. You've already made the prediction. And then I hear, I have to make myself feel like shit because somebody else is going to win it. Somebody else is going to get it. Somebody else is. Do you understand what I'm talking about at all? Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, you sound, yes, spot on.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds.
That somehow is hooked to the first thing I said. Okay. So it's the idea of you have this underlining already strategy that, okay, I can't really get my hopes up because what if I'm wrong? What if it fails? What if, what if? And it's like being proven wrong. So what do you do towards yourself is that they said that you go into ego and then you go into lack and then you go into, it ends up being a habit. And you don't realize it until afterwards. And they said, like, I'm watching you walk your house. You're talking. Da, 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 and all of a sudden somebody will say something and your intuition gets a little confused when the ego tries to be intuition. But it creates a little bit of a doubt. Do you know what I mean? Just think about it. Did it create a doubt? Okay. So you actually literally need to be aware of all the things I've said. You make sure you kind of write it down. You start. Oh, she froze. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, there she's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the main thing you're going to focus on is anytime you start to feel, okay, and your choice is to make yourself feel like shit instead of going for the go and the joy and the hope. Yes, so that's a possibility. Your ego says, well, we don't know that for sure. Therefore, why should we focus on that? So then we're like, if we keep our options open and kind of other people have won that you felt like you could have won or so just understand that when you step up to that vulnerability and you have the courage to get in the ring, part of you will be, maybe you have to take a punch. Maybe you'll have to fall. But those are steps to your greatness. But when ego tries to do it, ego says, well, don't even get in the ring. Ego says, look at all the times that there's a part of you to some degree wants to feel that. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm going to say it. Your towards yourself says, I have to feel like nothing. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
Probably.
But if you just kind of allow yourself to say with grace and ease, follow spirit, you will get to that stage where all of a sudden you're going to look and go, oh shit, that's where I do it. That is the unconscious thing that you have to bring to the surface.
Okay.
And so we're asking with grace and ease, you see it with a whisper instead of a bitch slap, because, this is why you paid to get this reading, is so that you can get in there and to avoid those bitch slaps. And they're saying when you begin to feel it and feel the instability and you feel it, they want you to hold L1D, that left wrist first position. Okay. Hold it nice and deep because you're going to get that experience and you're not going to know what to do. do your best to remember this. Left wrist, first position, nice and deep.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
That way you can kind of avoid crying. Because it feels like it's going to hurt. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. I'll continue to do that healing. Thank you, Brenda.
Please. All right. Bye, honey.
Oops. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay. So now Angela, is she coming on? Do that. Hi, honey cakes. My hubby is in the room. I love that man. I adore that man. Thank you for Patricia. Thank you so much for telling them. Yes, it's important to download the Zoom. And once you do, you'll say join the meeting. And then Jennifer says, okay, I was giving Hope there, or giving Hope page that was live, but I couldn't see comments or couldn't see me. I thought it were on Instagram. No, because it was different. Because it's confusing. But I'm on my main page, my live main page. Yes, Ames?
I have the pin comment, or the pin post. I usually have it on a sticky note on my computer.
Yeah.
Well, I deleted it. So it's got a comment in it instead for the PayPal. So it won't work unless you retype it in. Because I can't, for some reason, it's not letting me go back in and repin the post.
Oh, you want me to do something?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
If they're trying to use that link won't work because it's got a comma instead of a period.
Oh, I see.
And I go in and I hit, I resent the post, but I can't see it.
Need the comment. So if I were to say, so what is it that you put in? Because I can get to this one. I just can't get to that board. Oh,
no.
Wait, you just did it. Right there it is. Pinned comment just came up. It just popped up.
But it's got comma instead of a period. I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Okay. No, I see what you're doing. I see what you got there. Okay, so yes, there is a problem. If you're trying to pay, remember, there is no comma, there is a period. So I'm going to fix this real quick, and then we can go on to the thing. Have you heard back from Angela? Yes or no? We're live. So take it as a no, okay? And what we're going to do is, Angela has paid. I got no proof of it, but Amy said she has an email.
It's sitting here.
And now I'm going to pin my comment because I did it with a period. Okay. So hopefully that has come up as a pinned comment. It is the correct. Don't worry about that, Amy, there. I don't know about the rest of the rooms.
I will try and fix those while you're doing this next reading.
You're trying to find the link of where I am at. Do you know my main email page? Okay.
Facebook page.
Huh?
Your
Facebook page, my Facebook page. Yeah, which I'm not able to get to. You got that little search window. You can type in Medicine Woman Brenda and you look for, I think I'm in yellow. No, what color am I? Oh, the green shirt with the red and the hair.
Yeah.
And then you click on that and then you should be able to see the live video. That's the one I'm at. Okay, you should be able to do that. Because the room that you're looking at, Jennifer, is my alternative page, my other page. But the main live video where Okay, so we are in a transition. We are in a reset. We are in a very confusing times. So just bear with yourself. You can find. I'm going to just start giving me 1 minute reads because until we can find out what's happening with Angela.
Miss Billy.
Miss Pilly, anything special?
Is someone close to me? I keep smelling roses, or is something here that it is making that smell? Thanks.
Now, somebody on this side is definitely coming through. And if I ask them, what are they trying to say? They said that notice the obsession. Not that you're trying to find the roses, but you have an obsessing thought. They says you do it toward yourself. And one of the things you obsess about is feeling the overwhelm. And they're trying to get you're going to morph into fear. And if you do that, you may go into obsession and the high beta, and you're going to get lost and you're going to follow that thought. And it's going to you're going to lose yourself and you're going to morph into it. Your loved one on the other side is trying to get you to go, hey, smell this, look over here, and to make your mind not follow the obsessionness. That is what they're saying. Okay, so that's very important that you become aware of it. Okay, so who's next?
Jess.
Hi, Jess.
If you get better soon, you need some wine. Hey, I have my Akashic.
What?
Okay. Hope better soon, Brenda. You need some wine, LOL. Nah, LOL. Hope you're okay. May I have an Akashic?
But as far as the Akashic record goes, this is kind of like what I do all the time. When looking at this, and Jess, they said, there's a bit of an awkwardness. Is it just from the reading? No. And then it's about awkwardness about what you feel about yourself. Every time you go to expand your energy of what you like, what you want to do, you kind of pull yourself back because it's a toward yourself. You kind of pull yourself back. And they said what happened to you at 4, you were kind of scared from then on. So the program kicked in that as soon as you feel awkward, you're just like, no, maybe I won't. And you won't know this. I don't know if you know this program's going off. They go, the 4-year-old didn't feel safe being who she was when she expanded her energy, because I think she was corrected to the point where it scared her and she ended up contracting her energy. As she contracted her energy, then they are saying that it was because of lofty energy. Somebody's energy was bigger and stronger and kind of, I don't want to say put her in her place because I don't think that was it, but your 4-year-old was like, didn't know what to do with that. And I'm not going to give you the energy to do that. So I don't care if you do it. I'm not going to give you the energy to do that. So you have a conflict and a battle going on inside. Okay, Angie. Zoom. The one thing about Zoom, how do I want to put it? If you Zoom app, if you have a phone, don't go online and look for Zoom. Go to the store and it's free. Look for the Zoom app.
In the room, Brenda.
What's that?
She just wants to do it in the room.
Okay.
And she is on the main page.
And her last name is what?
Starts with the BR.
Gotcha. Okay, I see her.
Barkin.
I'll wait until you tell me what you want to talk about because you're paying for it. You're paying for it. And I'm going to try one little thing. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Before we get to, we're waiting. Tell me about your interesting life where you are. You don't see all that stuff that's going on. Is that correct?
No.
Doing self-isolation. What's happening?
Everybody's pretty much self-isolating here.
That's good. And so people are been watching too much mainstream.
No, I've been watching Netflix. I've been watching YouTube. You know, I've been watching Hulu. Real TV, nah.
Okay.
Because I know myself enough that I would get sucked into it, and it would be not a good thing.
How are you emotionally handling?
There's a little bit of fear because I have friends and relatives that are in the New York, DC area.
And is it real? Have they talked to you?
My best friend from Jersey her mother has had COVID-19.
She's better. Be a wild card. Everybody's immune system is going to respond to it differently. And the more fear you have, the more it's going to be worse than you can imagine. If you have, it's not meant, this virus, I don't think is meant to be fouled, because it's about that transition. Okay. At least you got to talk to somebody about it. How are they doing? So they got through it, and how are they feeling? Do they feel more confident, or do they feel more scared?
They're just self-isolating.
Yeah, and the best thing is that you have to learn how to get out of the stress, and that is learning how to breathe. There's different healing tools. You just go to my website, and there's one that actually helps you get out of the stress mode by the breathing and holding your breath. Angie, I sent you a link. If you can click that, but then if you don't have Zoom, it may be the issue. But if you already have it and you don't know it, you could click on it and it'll pop it open for you. So she said, choose whatever spirit wants. But if she does choose to come on, then I will honor that. She can come into the room. So she says whatever spirit wants. Let me figure out what that is. The right side of the brain. The right side of the brain, right hemisphere, okay, the right hemisphere, the energy is way high. The one thing about this is that the habits are going to be something that's going to go off. The habits are just going to be... you may not even be aware that everything you're starting to do is being a habit. They're saying spiritually, we want you to wake up and seeing that you need to become more mindful of what I like. Who am I? What do I like? I always tell the story is that if somebody offered me white chocolate and dark chocolate, just because they're both giving me attention, and there's that feeling that I'm going to have loss if I pick, I don't really like white chocolate, but I can't really admit that to myself. But I like dark chocolate. But program, part of you needs to know that what do you prefer more, and is it okay if you choose that, and the other one you didn't choose? And this goes into relationships. Now they're driving into the relationship factor, whether it's friends or you're looking for a mate or you have a mate. That is this. Now, again, it's going back to choice. Okay, I like these two guys. I think they like me. I like this one better. Well, what if he doesn't choose me? So maybe I should choose this one. But then that way I don't feel like I'm losing out. Can you understand this? They're literally showing you that you have to think this through. There's a part of you that doesn't realize that you're willing to take less because you think the one you want is not going to like you or want you. And therefore, if I choose the wrong one, I would be without, and that's worse. Well, your cup's refillable. There's more out there, and there always will be, because you're always going to be going into... Wow, the internet's really screwing up today. So Wow, I'm speeding up and I'm slowing down. I know time is doing that. Oh, Amy, this whole thing's confusing. I'm going to stop the timer real quick, Angie, because I got to figure out what all this is for you. Besides the feeling of decisive? No. Oh, come on. Give me a clue, Spirit. Connect with her energy. Where you are. What do you want me to see? Again, I stopped the timer. Don't worry. I have to figure this out. There's something very... It is to do with... No. Amy, if you can see, did she answer anything? Because I'm supposed to be looking for something.
No, she has.
Maybe that's what we're doing, is we're looking for the connection. And that's why I need a certain amount of feedback.
The screen is changing color now, Philly says.
I know, but obviously you can.
She doesn't want to decide because she thinks she's not worthy.
I know Spirit wants to talk. So like I said, I stopped the timer because I need to see if we can get connected. Or did she lose connection because of the internet? And that usually doesn't matter, but there's something I missed. Ah, there she is. I am answering, but I guess she's not. No, I'm not. That's the first time I got to see the answer.
No.
Oh, see, now it popped in up there. It says, yes, it's true. So that one. At least we got some connection going. Now my eyesight is screwing up. Is it because of how she sees herself? Okay, I'm going to run with this. We'll see what happens. No, I'm here. Good. All right. So, suppressed energy. I suppress my energy. So you suppress it. So you don't just contract it, you suppress it. Yes. What are you doing because of disapproval? I got disapproval when I was 4 and it hurt. It hurt very badly because if I make the wrong decision of what they want and I make the wrong decision, they let me know it. And it hurts. So you trained yourself. Oh, so when it comes to when she chooses for herself, like for instance, the chocolate, it's not choosing her, it's not disapproving, it's just there. And with the choices of people, if she has to make the choice, what if it's wrong? Because according to her childhood, she felt that she was wrong. They disapproved of her choices. Can you see how that's confusing now? Can you see how all of a sudden they said that the more, and okay, so if we imagine that you're metal and too much people, too much fire will start melting the metal. So you kind of lose yourself on that, whether it's approval or not approval. And then you're supposed to be getting support. And instead of getting support, you end up feeling the energy. You are meant to make the decision. And if people keep butting in and saying, no, you should marry this man. No, you should go to this school. No, do this. Your karma is going to be so off that you are going to have a lot of bitch slap lessons. And it's going to be harder for you to pick yourself up. So you literally need to start saying to the person, stop, I got this. Thank you for your opinion. Because now you have to help that inner child that has stood back. Oh, yep, see, I'm the oldest child and my childhood was abused. So what you need to heal is that when you try to make a stable choice for yourself, other people will become unstable. And that throws you. You need to heal this out. Now, see, if you could have been on here, we could have probably got you to work on that emotion. But Spirit says you're not supposed to, even with the invitation. Notice. Okay, so you're going to begin to wake up, Angie. And what happens is this. Do you live your way according to how everybody writes it? So Do you have to live your life their way? Without knowing it, do you make those unconscious decisions based on, do they approve or don't they approve? Now, you did it when you're younger. Now, you may be not, you can be. Now, there's some people out there go, yeah, but why don't she just stand up for herself? Now, here's the thing you guys got to understand. If you don't know that program's running and you start to chronologically age, you are going to become a fighter or a silent rebel or an outright rebel. But what's going to be confusing is that the original root is going to always be the issue. And so I don't care if you feel that you can fight back. You're not going to solve the issue. So one of the things they're telling you that if you could first address that emotion to address is that you need to address the heart. And it is the heart is locking itself into fear because the last thing we want is to have this abuse. So we lock ourselves into it. We need to go back to that inner child. This is where I would tell you to make an appointment with me because we got some inner work to do. Yes, and we're going to try to get you a healing tool. Now, EFT would work. You would be end up holding left wrist, first position, and you're going to push your thumb in deep. Then you're going to do this, and you're going to think about all of that abuse, that if I were to actually do this, now in your mind, and this is where I would want to do sensory accessing. In your mind, you have a picture that if I actually stand up for myself, your memory says, remember when you had abuse? Remember you had been disapproved of? What? It keeps going back to that. It's okay. I want you to put it on the scale from 0 to 10. Keep holding it like this. You keep it there. 10 is like, oh my God, I need it down to 0. And when you feel like, yeah, it's not there anymore, stay a little longer. And then the moment, if you feel like it's all done, and then the experience pops up and you're like, oh, there it is. Say, there it is. And then go and finish it off. Because you may not be aware of the fact that you have to finish it off. Okay. You can do this. Okay. You can do this because the picture is really strong. I think left eye and they're saying right. So I can't tell if it's the reverse, but Pilly, maybe show her the sensory accessing tool so she can start. Yes, that is correct, Pilly. Thank you. Okay. Is there any more paid?
Not that I have.
Okay. Now, with Michelle, we had to give her information so she can figure out how to take care of it. And with Angie, we had to do our best to give her the healing tool. Now, if you look at that freaking color change. Did you see it? I saw that one.
You're late. And now it's...
Okay, maybe we need to back away from my cameras. I can't afford to get a new one. I can't go out there and I'm not ordering one. So y'all back away. Wow. Okay, I did not know that this yellow could become so neon.
Between your yellow and my purple.
I know. I think they're really cool. That's definitely spring.
We're my high school colors.
Oh, look at that. Yellow. I like these colors. Here, get close to the camera. See? So yeah, I really like those combinations. Okay. I don't know. Spirit is funny. All right. Who's the next email?
Casey. And she says, will me and Harry get back together?
Okay. We'll answer that. Understand if there is an upset, then something needs to be addressed. Now, normally I would love to take and help you with that, but we're going to answer your question. Will you get back together? And then Spirit will do its best. So will they get back together? They said, you're calling in your soulmate. And if that's the case, then you have to not give that certain relationship a chance. If he is meant to be in your space, you will know it because it will be completely effortless. Right now is you're going into, I need this versus I love myself. Oh, that my heart breaks versus I love myself. And I'm saying, will you get back together though? And they said that there's an interesting thing about what cost at what you'll do, at what cost. And they said that there's a part of you that really, okay, so there's a party that doesn't quite feel safe with him or without him. And they're asking you to address that. Well, at least I don't look jaundiced.
No, you definitely don't look jaundiced, unlike me.
Yeah, so they're saying just to let that person know, let your friends help you to discover more that you deserve love because you are meant to be loved. Okay, who's next?
Amanda.
Ah.
And I had a weird dream that ended up freaking me out. I woke up by being slammed into my body and felt like I did as a child waking up from a nightmare. But I immediately went into how can I project myself mode.
Okay.
I brought down source energy and envisioned green light energy surrounding myself and the angels help protect me. Not sure what I'm asking, but would love.
Okay. When it comes to a dream, whoever's in the dream is an aspect of you. And if it's just you, understand that if you're slamming yourself back in your body, sometimes you're trying to wake yourself up from something particular. When I asked Spirit, what's happening? They says, well, at 4 years old, the energy, something happened, and then you turned around and started to bark orders at yourself, which means you have a broadcast message that you have towards yourself. And you have to be a certain way for certain people, which means you have to put on an ego mask for these people. And when you do, you have to show erratic energies. And you may not be aware of the pattern that it's happening. You are meant to get back into who you are and take that, oh my God, moment of where you told yourself that I have to act this way in order for it to be safe. And you need to heal it out. Because you're beginning to notice that you have a choice and you are actually channeling or getting these different energies because you're trying to find the catalog of life. Can I do things differently? The fear is meant to wake you up so that you can be noticing what you're doing with your. And then I hear, because see, up no matter how much time you have with one dream, it's never one answer. It's many. So another perspective from another dimension is saying that I have to go back to my habits because I can't fit into the world if I try to be myself. The child didn't understand what was happening, except for she could see that these people are like, I'm the good guy. They're the enemy. And that's like with tattletaling. They did it. They'll be in their favor. Or did that happen to you? People tattled on you, so they watched you get punished. So they could be in the favor of somebody's eyes. So you're growing your emotional intelligence in your dreams. Your soul is trying to solve this particular thing you happened at 4 so that you can move your soul into resolving to evolve. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, next.
Could I please have a reading about whatever spirit would like to tell me?
So there's a part of you that believes and able to say, this is why I'm stuck with these parents I've got. A part of you in your past life has seen how control in different issues and how people will go to the extremes for a cover-up. So your soul wants you to wake up from being a victim. And it is looking. They said, you get to choose in the answer, and I'm getting out of this prison, and I'm going to start downloading and look for positive things. I'm going to look for things that are going to help me get out of this hell. I'm going to do this because that ray of hope keeps telling you, get out of there, come over here, get out of there. And you keep getting swallowed up back into those stories. And you are implanting yourself with your own fear. Understand when the ego tries to control you and that light that says, get the fuck out. You need to go and grab that light. And as soon as you start to drift down, say, no, call your energy back. Say, I don't have to go there. Yes, that may have been what I lined up before, but I don't need that anymore. No can be your best friend. No. And take your power back. Literally, just pull your power back. Go and get that tool, picking yourself up. Take your power back. Cord switching would be good for you right now. That healing tool, cord switching. Go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com and get the cord switching. Because do this. All right, next.
Stephanie, what area do I need to heal the most right now?
Okay, there's a lot of prideful people. Okay, now here's the thing. Ego's definition of what pride is. Okay, they're too proud to accept help. The pride, you can't put pride in your work because you're not supposed to toot your own horn. You're not supposed to be too proudful because you're going to end up hurting others. Begin to define that word. Begin to notice who is around you. Okay. Notice that your inner world creates your outer world. And if you are seeing people that are just being laissez-faire, like, you're waking up to the point where I don't know if I want to really fall for all of these programs that are pulling me and making me think all this and that. You're moving into your inner world of knowing that towards yourself, it is about the light. It is about the love. And you don't have to. So there's part of you that's going to have to learn to unplug from these people. You know, like, I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to plug it up to Christ consciousness. You're going to unplug from these people and you're going to plug up to Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness isn't about religion. It is about a consciousness that has to do with learning what love is and how to see it, how to be it. You know, it's live it, breathe it, walk it, talk it, and dream it. It is learning that the arc, Noah's Ark, the act of random kindness, but done in spirit is not going to be helpful. But done in your heart, brain, heart, your gut intuition, and your higher self, it can move mountains. But don't do it if your ego says, I have to. Because that means when you're little, you cut a piece of yourself out. You are meant to take all of you, and you need to heal certain parts, okay? So just begin to become aware of that. I know I got lost. Go back to what was said, find the words, and you'll get there. All right, next.
Lori M. Just in general.
There's petrified energy around you, and it could be just because of the coronavirus thing. Who to believe? What to believe? What do I do? I feel like you've got people around you telling you, oh, it's okay to go out. And then you have other people do self-isolation. There's a part of you that knows deep down that you need to sit back and reset. Now, I don't know if it's safe in your house. I'm seeing a lot of unhealthy things like it's not physical fist. It could be, but it could be this physical, there's different forms of abuse. And when that happens, if this is what you see, if this is what you feel like it's going to happen to you, every amount of your fear, tap, 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 EFT it out of your system. You got this? Because the more you disrupt that pattern and the strategy, this is supposed to be joy, but you only have a slice of it. And we need to get you to realize you're hardwired for it. And the only way you're going to know how you're hardwired for it is if you break off the strategy that you have to be hurt first. Okay, next.
Miss Diana, she is wondering what is keeping her in the dark night and what does she need to work on right now to help herself get out?
Well, you got to understand that you are victim mode. You are in a stress mode. You are in a towards yourself. And towards yourself is that, why wasn't I chosen? You don't want to let that choice be. Okay, understand. Yes, I'm fully aware of what I will not say and what I can say. Okay, we're going to go back to that 3.5-year-old self that saw the incident, and it gets very confusing for the adult mind. Who in the fuck wants to be chosen for that? Well, it's about love and rejection. And for the it's about the must be's. It must be this. It must. You keep putting in your it must be this. It must be this. It must be this. You have to heal the must be. 3D and L2D. Your body's energy is saying toward yourself, you're supposed to feel insecure and that I have to remain in it and that I have to stay stressed because that's who I am at 3.5 years old. I can't get out of 3.5 years old because what happened to me was that I'm holding a grudge because of the gall of these people that you expected them to be there for you and they weren't. And that hurt like hell. You have to understand it from a child's point of view. God, now it looks like I've got like marks. My nose is starting to red. It looks like I got something weird going on in my face there. Can you see all these strange things happening? I want my color pad back. I want to be in charge of my color, my face. I'm surprised I don't have a big red nose right now. I thought this was supposed to be my reality. Just saying. Anyway.
TP.
Hello, Kevin's in the house. Woo, woo. Oh, Miss TP. Yes. Wow. Okay, so my eyes, there must be a lot of, and I'm going to ask Spirit, what do you mean by too much heat? Okay, so the stomach meridian is saying that there are something that constantly is taking my attention. And this is not who you are being here. It is who you are being in here, in your body's consciousness. And they said, you keep repeating when you're 6 years old. And the heat buildup is because you've had to hold your anger and bite your tongue because, according to this, the anger is that it has to take my attention. So notice how it takes your attention and how you can't, everything. So in your daily life, you can be walking around, it's tension. It may have pain. It may have suffering. But what didn't you pay attention to at 6 years old? Because when you didn't pay attention, and they make you to become indebted. Have anybody make you feel that you have to be indebted to them. That's what you're going to look at. And you're going to hold L1D. Everybody's working on the heart, man. That's good. That's what this energy is about. Your stomach energy is supposed to support the large intestine. It's not. The large intestine's energy is actually fighting back and saying, you have to do it my way. What does all that mean? Well, it means that you are obsessing about something, and as you obsess about something, you're taking energy from your large intestine because you got to correct yourself. You're compelled to correct yourself. So when you have an obsessive energy doing this and you have compelled to correct yourself, look at that. If that's the case, you need to disrupt the compelled to correct yourself and the obsession. The energy that's happening, and when this happens, it goes over. And what you're going to feel is this. Your liver and gallbladder is overpowered by things. You feel their exertion of their power. And what does it do to you? It causes you to feel that you have, when people say, pay attention to me, look at my, that is the energy. And you can't seem to break that pattern. You need to, there's a lot we could do. But they want you to address self-conscious, I feel self-conscious, and wounded pride with all that. And when you can address that and kind of see the reactions, kind of see all of this, you can start beginning to hopefully stand back and realize, I don't want to go there. That's when you work great too, but you have to find one that aligns with you. Next.
Angela, she's asking if her mother or grandmother are wanting to connect with her.
Well, here's the thing. They said yes and no, but you feel ashamed of yourself. There's something about self-shame. Because you're holding a particular energy, you can't hear them for yourself. Now, if I said, could you tell me what it is that you at least could do? Because I can feel the presence of you, but you seem very distant. She tries to get back into her body. She can't center herself. And I said, well, what do you want? And they go, well, she thinks that she's the enemy. Well, how do you do that one then? She withdraws her energy, puts it in, and then sits there. They said, and so real quick, they're saying that we keep trying to send out flowers, different kind of flowers, different kind of smells, different kind of pictures, different something to do with flowers. And they said with Easter, they're trying to really get it in your head. There's something about flowers. And then there's also this cup, like if you sit there, I don't know if it's a cup that, like for instance, you were sitting there, I don't know if you were cold or what, you had a cup in your hand and I could feel the spirits putting a blanket over your shoulders. There's something that they're doing. So they want you to do whatever it is I just said to stop doing. Oh, stop contracting your energy and be aware of that. Next.
Patty.
Hi, Patty.
My angels want me to know.
Miss Patty, you're complexed about something, that's for sure. Well, if that's the case, understand. I'm going to ask, what do you want? Overall, yin and yang, towards or south? Is this the overall goal? Okay. So the overall goal that you want towards yourself is this. You have to learn how to disappear. You reap what you sow, but you have to notice what words you are using to sow those. They said you've been grasping what our session was, which is good. You've been kind of seeing it. You still feel uncertainty, but just remember, that makes more sense. That's true. Yes. You have to allow yourself to know that your brain only sees a mirror, and your brain, if you fear you can't do it, then your brain says it is done. And therefore, that's what you're going to see, is what you've already believed. So you need to put inside there that it is done, that the answer is there. You can see it. Even if you can't see it, keep looking and just it'll reveal itself, because it says healing of the past opens the way for the future, abundance and harmony. Harvesters of the past, sower of the future, loose ends are being tied up. Did you hear that? Loose ends are being tied up so that action can be taken towards the future. Even when you feel that your actions are extreme, a pattern, an order, and a system are operating. Every action has a reaction. Consider the source. I love that word. And find understanding and resolution, initiating motion. So that's a good sign. You're in a good space. Next.
That's a glossary word.
That is a glossary word. Yes.
Gemma, she says, I was wondering if you pick anything up on my current health.
You said her name's Gemma?
Gemma, Jemma.
Oh, the J. Okay. So the one thing is that if a doctor has told you certain, remember these are emotions and meridians, and now I'm really bright yellow. There's a lot of overwhelm and a lot of grief. The area that they sit in is the small intestine and the pericardium. The pericardium is the thing that's around. And it's funny because I don't even see you pouting. I see other people pouting, and that affects your health to the point that it causes you to feel overwhelmed. And then it causes you to go into ego to respond and goes into a program. So it's like a trigger. So if, when people are pouting, you go into a trigger of a certain behavior. What does it do physically? Physically, it starts to upset your stomach because you're storing an emotion in there. And that then causes the liver to work really hard. That's what I see. Next.
Judy.
Is that it?
Just 1 minute.
Okay. I feel there's a lot of criticism buzzing about your ears. And it's a filter to the point is where as soon as you begin to hear certain traits of how a person ego-wise criticize instead of feedback and being constructive, your energy actually only dissipates on one side. So if they're to your left side will shut down. And if it's in front of you, then the front of you shuts down. And they're saying that causes you to be ungrounded. And it causes your right brain to be very excessive in energy, which is not really good because then it goes into, I have to go into a certain behavior. Like, for instance, let's say you have to automatically become bossy and you don't want to do it. Just notice the automatic behavior that just pops up, and your body wants you to not lose yourself. It wants you to call that energy back. It wants you to become aware of your program and say, no, I can show up differently. I don't have to do this in these rooms. And if you want a reading, you ask now instead of having to email. But again, if you're in a lot of the rooms and we don't see it, you need to email us. I'm going to double check to see if anybody else is maybe here. I don't know. My whole thing froze up on my phone, so I have no idea.
Well, my phone keeps glitching off.
It's such a weird thing because I can't seem to get in here. No? Okay, no, it just popped on. Okay, again, we're going to look towards the rooms, and if you want a healing and you want to come on live, and which means we'll walk you through something, and this is where you get an opportunity to get it at a very cheap price, really get in there. Now, those that have today, what's the date today, Ames, at your place?
Here it is April 1st.
Okay, I missed April altogether. I mean, the first part. So that means we have the drawing. Now, anybody that's paid today gets to go into May's drawing.
Yes, and I have 2. Come on in.
All right, well, show the camera. I didn't even see you do it. Okay, now she's crunched you up so that you still have a chance. Now she's going to close that lid, and she's going to close the lid, and you're going to shake her up. Give it a good old shake. Thank you, Spirit. And is that made of leather?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but I feel like it's got an extra protection, so nobody can influence. That's good. So now she's going to open it up, but she's not going to look, and she's going to stick her hand in, and we're going to see who gets. And drum roll. And it is, the winner is.
And the winner is.
She folded that up so well.
Oh, they're little stickies, so I stuck the sticky part. Linda Burns.
Linda Burns. Okay, so we'll have to make sure that Linda Burns gets notified that she has won 15 minutes with me. Okay, see that? Linda Burns. So if you happen to be here, let me know if you know, and we will contact you. So good job. Again, if you want to be in the drawing to win 15 minutes with me, you will be put into the box. Okay. So
Now I can put flowers back in?
Yes, completely separated. And we have 2 new names already in the jar, which is good for next month. So you have a whole month to get your name. And the more times that you pay to have a reading, you get your name in that box that many times. So we had like one person had up to 5 times, another person up to 4 times.
Yeah, and I believe Linda only had her name in there once.
So that's wow, that's good. Spirit picks it. Spirit says this is what it is. I watched that energy happen. Now, some of you that are in my group, I'm going to say this. There's green energy on the planet now. The blue is kind of dissipated. You need to realign up. I've had to create a energy bandwidth with intention, and it's the green bandwidth. So when you start to interact, to grow, and you heal, and you're with me and all of this, and those that want to wake up, it's there. So you just think green bandwidth, and then you go chant safety, security, stability, joy. Imagine that your carpet, you have a magic carpet that's going underneath your feet, and you can literally feel it's underneath your feet, and you come in alignment with that frequency is going to help pull you out of these old movies. That old paradigm will help you wake up. It'll draw you to come closer. I believe I'm going to put up any day now that you can join the unit. It'll be 3 tiers of different payment, so that you can, for people that can't really afford it, you still have an opportunity to be in the room, get to hear what is available, get to notice that you can get things at a discount. Notice that when you get in there, you get to ask questions, not of readings. These are questions about spirituality. These are questions about waking up, questions about, and you know, becoming a spiritual human, learning how to think differently, learning how to get out of that matrix and that program. Amy is one of the many that have been going through the program of changing who they are so they can start identifying, but you guys can come out. Amy, do you regret taking any of these classes? So no.
I don't. The tools, they help you to cope with the emotions and the feelings, and then they help to dissipate all of that negative crap,
which then helps you to resolve to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the knowledge and the intention of understanding to look at your life through a spiritual lens versus an ego lens literally will get you to start changing who you are. So this is a support group. This is an educational group. Now, none of these women have the question, and then it'll go through to decide whether or not, if you're asking it to give a reading, that's not what we're here for. We're here for your growth. Okay. If you're like, oh, I'm stuck and I feel sad, I don't know what to do. Amy may turn around and says, send you a link, do the OMG. Or she may say, I just went through some sadness and I found that cord switching was good. Now, she can guide you on the tools that are already there. She can help answer. And she's looking at it and she gets your question first before the rest of the ladies. The rest of the ladies we haven't designed it yet, but the rest of the ladies could end up going back to the academy. What is your question? What do you think? You know, we may set something up completely different, but it'll eventually get to me if you'll learn.
Linda,
huh? What?
Linda, Philly told Linda that she won, and she is in the room.
Do you want to do it now, Linda? Yay. Ah, yes. So Linda, so it's Linda Love. That's who it is. See, when people have different names, it just throws me off. So is that the one?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, so sweetheart, you can come on right now. This will be perfect. You know, so it needs to be perfect. Diana says, I have no regrets either. And she's another one. And these women will help you because we're creating a support group based on helping you to understand you have a choice. And, you know, they may have to share their experience of where they were and where they are now. Or they may say, hey, here's a glossary word, and help you start to see things differently. They may start and ask a question, and so that you can see, you know, can you answer it? How do you feel about it? Can we help change a different perspective? What can we get? We want you to become more into your spiritual mindset. That's interesting. Yep. I'm sorry. Look at this weirdness that's happening to my neck. You see this happening? I feel these lines are changing. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like, I don't know. Feel like me. I feel like people are playing with my avatar and they haven't figured out how to reconstruct it yet. Maybe.
I've been seeing yellow bitches.
Ooh. Ugh. And my birdies, my two birdies. Now, a few years ago, I would have never taken them out because I'm afraid they'd fall away. Now they're like, we sit down to lunch and they're like, you're going to let us out? So we'll get them out, and then they'll sit there and they have their own little dinner plate. Of course, they're going to try to come over and steal ours. But it's cute, it's fun. And then they get up on the big perch, you know, so they're about this big, you know, they're pretty big. But then you got Charlie. and Charlie's like, just don't. He gets an attitude, and it's funny. But then when they're done, they will want to go back to the cage. And if I'm not paying attention, they'll try to fly and get along their side. And I did get to see them. So what are we going to do, Linda? Can you get in?
To get her computer.
Okay, that's fine, as long as I know what we're doing. And just double check to make sure there was no more 1 minute. And I didn't see anybody else in these rooms, but doesn't mean that other...
To help you understand what you need to grow to the next.
So when you decide to go and listen to me. Hi, Sue.
I'm still not sure. I heard you. I listened a couple shows, and I'm like, I need more. I want more.
So your spirit was you were getting hungry and you needed to move forward. That's good. And now you're hooked because there's a part of you that doesn't. And why did you get hooked? Why didn't you just go to and be with all the other people?
Because I know there's more than that help. And because I had one of my best, she was a best friend at that point in time. She followed you too. And I'm like, okay, you would give her tools. And I'm like, did you use the tools? Well, no. I'm like, I wanted to bash her head because it's like, use the tools because they work.
Right. And understand, if you don't understand the value of it, you won't understand why you would need a tool. So this is the number that, Linda, you need to go to. So when you have the Zoom app, you open it up to say join room. You're going to type in 121-893-288. That's 121-893-288. You like that?
Brenda, what is my R1D app?
Okay, so she's talking about a hope therapy point because she was healing one of her healths. You finally got it down to a 1. Notice that's what you're going to do. So if you, the whole point of this now, I think it's 6, 12, and 23, the cost of those 3, every one of those, you get entitled to have a support group that you're designated for. If you've, so we'll talk more about that. Some of you may have to pay, some of you may not have to, and we will walk through them. As we walk through it, then you get to experience it. I can be with you. I can show you how to do it. Make sure you're doing it correctly. We will do it as a classroom setting. We'll do it as a group. We will do with answering questions so that you can get all these little things, understanding how the eye holds the information. Then sometimes they just won't feel like they'll work. It's that feeling of the erratic energies. Really get to understand how you define erratic energies. Speaking of that, we will have also once a month a strict just healing, which means you'll come on and I will guide. I don't know how, because each one can be different. So let's say there's 20 people in the room. I will assess where you need to go, and Spirit will tell me that we need to do this, this, or that. Okay, which means I will check you. I will show where you need to go, and I will help you heal so I'll say, hold this point. You all focus on this individually. Hi, dear. We got to get the volume to come up. I think we have volume. Linda, can you hear me okay? Yeah. I can hear you too. Good. Oh, wonderful. So congratulations, dear.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that you only had to pay once. I mean, that door was aligned for you. Spirit was serious. And so here we are. It's not that Spirit chose you versus everybody. It's just that you were in that alignment. And that's good.
Yes.
So you get 15 minutes of my time. Would you like to do some deep healing? What would you like? It's still your call about what you want.
I'm sure Spirit has plenty of things to say.
Okay, you want me to run with it because you're not sure where to go? This is where Spirit will take the lead. So as I set the timer, and we are very happy that you participated. There's some erratic energy. Somebody just started losing their shit.
Did you say giving me their shit?
No, they lose it. They may be giving it to you too. But it is, they're happy one minute, the next minute they're just really all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I mean by erratic energies, because you're not sure whether you're supposed to walk on eggshells and you're not sure what just happened. And sometimes kids will just automatically go there. It creates an awkward feeling inside of you.
Yeah.
Now, they're saying that awkward feeling as you go back to when you're 5, your right brain would get too much energy. And it's like you want to curl up in a ball and just say, okay, it's over with. It's done. I don't want to go there. Can you, okay, you feel that? Okay. They're saying that's kind of what you need to heal is the awkwardness. Because you didn't know what to do with that at 5. You did feel it. It stayed. Now you're an adult and you have to be in a situation when people act that way. But you're like, but I don't really want to react the way I used to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And they said that that's because it's an awkward feeling. Because you didn't know what to do with it. So you went into the petrified. You know, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a habitual fear. So you really know this, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the things you do afterwards is you make yourself worthless so that they won't aim their shit at you.
Yeah.
Okay, now the problem with that is, again, it shows me that your right brain energy just goes through the roof. And when it does that, you can't help but feel attacked.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want her to, which way do you want her to heal? Oh, they're saying, but then because of all that's happening, they say you turn the energy towards yourself and then you fractured yourself. Okay. So you got two parts of yourself as you're trying to operate as an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to ask you, do you have any physical issues, any physical symptoms or anything the doctors declared?
I have an abnormal heart, and I have abnormal kidney and 10 kidney stones. I think that's it.
That's a lot. That is a lot. And so what's important to understand is, let me get here to see, why would you want to put your heart into something if you're going to just have that reaction? And so I can understand that one. And kidney is that habitual fear, or, well, not that one. Just a second, we'll get to that one. I need to go, and they're saying I need to get you something very specific, and then you're going to tell me whether one, none, or all applies. We're looking for that familiarity.
Okay.
The body's always talking, and when the kidney stones, anger and despair. So the stones are saying, I'm angry and I'm at despair. They are feeling misunderstood. Oh, okay, with an intense feeling of frustrated despondency. I don't even want to respond. Does this sound like you? Yeah, okay.
Sounds like me to the T.
Okay, they said there's a large store of unshed tears and fears and sadness arising out of that old issue. Oh, you just felt that, didn't you? Shift up. You're like, oh, I felt that too. Give me a second. I'm reading. Your body is talking to me a little bit more, so give me a minute. It takes away your choice. It takes away your ability to talk.
Yeah.
To store that, because if you showed it, woo, dogs, that would, okay. Okay, so the part of you that says, I don't have the ability to cope, the little child is like, I can't cope. I don't know how to. I just don't have a clue how to handle it because it don't stop. And she's showing me over and over and over. That's why it's in the right brain. It's just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So it was just easier for you to fracture yourself so to cope with it. That's why you fractured, because I don't know how to cope. We want to, and we're going to bring back, we're going to do our best to clear the thing that dislodged that fractured self. Okay?
Yeah.
So understand that the only way that something can be disrupted is if it really want you to look at, oh, you trapped your love. You took your love and you said, no, mine. And you took and you fractured that part. And so do you find it hard to love yourself or love others or to receive love? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And and when I'm looking at this, I feel like it's in prison. It literally looks like it has bars around it. And you're like, I don't even want to get into it because I'm the one that hit it here because you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Now, understand that this is this is the only way you could cope. So we have to take care of the coping, but we will not take away the safety blanket, will not cause you to be vulnerable. We're going to look at what you couldn't cope with.
Okay.
The egotistical assholes.
I know.
All right. So you have a couple in your head right now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So on a scale from 0 to 10, all the things that I just talked about, and you just can't cope with their attitude, their behavior, all of this, put it on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst.
9.5.
Okay. So I'm sure we can get it up higher, but I don't want to trip your heart. So we're just going to have you hold out, you'll take out your left wrist, take it out. Yes, like it's in your pocket. Anyway. And this is the very first position. That's where you're going to put your thumb. And then you're going to put your finger in the palm. So first find that one. Yep. You get your little finger up there. Okay, good. Push that in deep. Okay. Wrap your 3 around. Good. Make sure your thumb is in deep. And I want you to go like this. Say their names or anything like that, but yes, I can see them. My God. Okay. Wow, it's distracted me. How many is in there? You're going to label them A, B, and C. So how many do you see?
More than 3.
More than 3. How about if we group them? We'll start with a group. We're going to say this group A, and you're like, oh my God, I need you to take and look just through your right eye at all of that group. And I need you to look to the lower left. And I want you to hear yourself doing the self-talk of resentment. You can't say it out loud. You know, you're like, you got to hold it in, because you just allow yourself to do that self-talk. It doesn't sound pretty, but just do it, because this is the only way you could cope, was to throw it inside your body. Okay, we're going to preserve all the positive learnings. We're going to start to remove and transcend. We're going to let it go, let it go, let it go. As you do that, I want you to take, and when you look through that right eye, what number do you see that fury, that resentment, that, you know, the assholery? What do you see?
It's high.
Do you have a 10?
Yeah.
Now, notice there's a color. Can you see the color? And I want you to take that same picture and put it just in your left eye. Only look through your left eye. Does the number, is it 10 or less or more? Less?
Yeah.
And it looks like more conflict, but it feels less. Okay, what number is it?
My brain is saying
And what number do you have now?
5.
A 5? Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Look through just the left eye. And what number do you have now? Okay, so now as you stare at this, is there less people now there?
It feels like it because I'm not clenching and grinding my teeth.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Now switch over to the right. What number do you got now?
15.
Excellent. Notice that you can do this. Know that you are doing this, and notice that you can take your power back. And as we start to just remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go, you switch eyes over. Now, what's that?
I see like feather white.
Did it go up? A white and what number?
Feather.
0?
I don't see a number.
Okay, now what I want you to notice is that you're going in those group of people. As you look, can you say, can you accept this cord? And what do they say? Yes or no? Did they?
I don't hear that. Can I accept this cord?
Yeah, just say, do you accept these cord? And do they all agree, or just a few?
Just a few.
Okay, understand that that's part of the other fracture. You're going to keep that golden white light cord there, because they can't come near you.
1.
0? Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab another golden white light cord and put it through that eye to the same back yourself. I want you to feel, oh, wait a minute. You're worried? What are you worried about? Self-conscious. Okay, so here's the thing. Understand you haven't seen that part of yourself for a long while. So as you slowly introduce yourself and you end up getting in that, hey, I can do some self-love, or I can share this love, but you don't have to show it to those people. You can call in new people if necessary.
Okay.
And then I need you to already know you've created a great deal of love. And if Pilly is one of your friends, then she's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's
that any number is left, any of that weirdness is left, because we got a lot more work to do, but we're running out of time.
I feel is that it's like residual, you know, I don't know if it's my part of me that's part of it, or if it's some other people that I know that are resentful towards me if I do decide.
Okay, so
to live like that.
take your hand down real quick. Okay. And I need you to understand there's a difference. Can you feel the difference?
I do.
Okay, you witness that difference. You may have to tell Pilly again, you need to write it down. You need to keep it. And every time these assholes or whatever they are, all of this, you can say, here's my cord. You know, it's like a stop button. And you can take and make that glow. Those that didn't accept it. And if those that did accept it, you'll see that they're going to start showing up differently. So don't confuse yourself, because your filter about them is changing for the better. And notice, don't discourage yourself, because they use words. You're going to take, and as soon as you start to see your energy leave, you say, no, get back here. Okay. Yeah. Claim your energy. Now, eventually you're going to come in alignment with that one part of yourself. And then that means the other one will probably look, hey, maybe I can come back too. Okay. But I don't know how fast of an integration, but you will get experiences every day. As soon as you feel discouraged, even though I feel discouraged, or you can even hold R3S. So, you know, don't fall for that discourage. Don't fall for it. Because
no, I don't want to anymore. I want.
Okay, because that's going back there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And how was that experience for you?
I have been working on self-love and been loving myself. So I needed it.
Good. And you know, there's more to go, but you're on the right track. I'm very proud of you. See, and then Spirit knew that, hey, we're going to go. She's ready. So good job. And remember, you can always put your name back into the thing by having any other reading. And you remember, you just did it the one time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that we could do this now. That makes me happy. So thank you very much. And keep healing, girl.
Thank you.
Keep healing.
I will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That is beautiful. I loved every minute of that. Pilly, thank you so much for bringing her into my world. This is awesome. I'm excited. I am very excited about all this. I feel like spring's for you guys and fall for me, but I feel like we're the Easter bunnies.
Well, it's just Marner.
Yeah, and I think, and next this weekend, I think, is when we fall back an hour. I believe it's this forward.
We already just from
what I meant time wise for you to get up. So if I have 1 o'clock today, what time are you having to appear?
Today it was 9:30.
So
Thursday it will be 8:30.
Okay, see, so that's why I said it'll be one of those strange things. So be aware that, you know, you're thinking, oh yeah, she'll be on. According to Amy, it'll be an hour early. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just be aware that the time, I know it's so confusing. I don't know. Otherwise, you'll see that it will calculate for you when the time of my show is. So that is awesome. I'm so glad we were able to autumn. Yes. What's up?
My leg.
Your legs what?
Fire.
On fire? On any of that kind of thinking to support, or any of the 41 thoughts per minute, did it pop that you're unaware of?
I'm unaware of it if I have.
So I don't want to tattle, but the point is that what can you tell us that you have to work on? Were you working on a little self?
Well, from the last show, I was my mom, and then I was not me. And
oh yeah. So you morph into other people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you also were given instructions offline that said you had to watch your stinking thinking, yes?
Mm-hmm. And I haven't.
Okay, has any of that appeared in the last to make that occur?
Yeah.
Okay, understand somebody says that, does that. Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, notice the amount of energy, of life force you're willing to give up to keep that belief, that stance, that's the way I look at it. Is it worth your life force, your pain, spiritual debt to keep that particular habit, ego thinking alive?
No.
Good. If you're serious, understand that you do it to them because they've done it to you. Time to turn that mirror. So you got to do it to them first. That's what you saw of how you're supposed to behave growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you just have another deep understanding, and the words are going to come up. Write those down, because if you don't, your ego is going to make you go back to sleep by forcing you to be wishy-washy about the whole thing, and then you're like, and you'll go right back to sleep.
I want it back there.
And you don't want to go back there. That means you have to write it down, because I know how the ego operates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no pen in hand. Do you see her writing? She doesn't follow instructions very well. The ego's like, I got this. She just wait. I don't see paper. I see a pen. You can fool me all you want. I didn't see her write.
Here all the time.
I don't see her writing. She could just go like this and then let me believe she's done it. What do you think you need to write?
People that
Thank
read.
you. Well, see, why would she want to write on the page? So she can't lie to me. School, but it's life skills school. But it is about soul learning and all. But anyway, keep on. Don't make me distract you.
Thinking.
Just. What does she need to write down, girls? Oh, good. Pilly says I'm doing some healings with a Baba wand. Now look next to Amy. She's got all those made. And they got the scent. I like the scents one. We'll probably show you how to use the oil scents. And we will use all magnets. You got a couple magnets there. Are those two new kitties on your back shelf behind you? Their white tail and their ears are just really shining. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Napkin holder.
Oh, that's adorable. Did you just add that there?
Yeah. Oh,
see, that's amazing. They snuck their little tails and ears out. Okay, what is she supposed to write down? Again, the ego said she says, I won't forget. Amy's getting in trouble. Kevin is saying that.
I can't see Kevin.
Someone get unblocked and started talking light language. Ooh, you're serious, Pilly. Awesome. I love it. Did you write it?
Thinking.
Oh, was that all? Was there anything specific about stinking thinking? Because that can apply to everything. Oh, I saw a fart in my mind. Stinking thinking. Oh,
It might be.
Anyways, the point is, young lady, what was anybody can help her out? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Because this is a lesson about what kind of stinking thinking.
Towards myself.
And if they're going to do it, I have to do it to them first, or I have to do it to myself. And what kind of thinking was that? Amy's on the hot seat. Do you hear all the kids in the classroom there?
I see Pilly.
Yeah, we're going to turn the Bunsen burner up into a flamethrower.
Oh, no.
Oh, but it's good if I do it. Okay, now, come on.
Get it today.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
How so? They're running their program. Doesn't mean you have to mimic them or mock them or respond to it. But how did you do it?
Flipping shit out of me again.
Scared her. Didn't inflames you, huh?
Oh, he just irritates the hell out of me.
Okay, is she losing power, kids?
Just a little bit.
Marge. But does she need to be Marge Simpson? Yes, you know it, but does it need to own you?
No.
But it's fun. It's irritating as hell. I hit my intolerance point. I don't know how to break it because he pushes that damn button. Oh, there's victim mode. I judged that. Judging. Listen to what it says. I have no right to do. I have no right to say. Listen to what the words are. I had my ex, and there was a part of me that's like, he would gaslight me, and it'd be like, I'm not the crazy one. Okay. And then I was like, I am crazy because I am not stopping myself from doing this or being in this space. Why am I crazy to stay with him? What am I telling myself? Okay. Tilly says, when you see it, it triggers you. Does he trigger you?
He can.
What? Again, this is what you have to evaluate. What do you see? Does he complain that nobody likes me? Does he complain that he just can't get ahead? What is the main theme that he does? In a live meditation, you experience the feeling, but notice what you don't like when because his energy it's permeating. It's like a big fart, just stays in the room. Thank you. Write that down. Can you relate to that?
Yeah.
When a person usually says things, what about me? And he's trying to get you to say certain things or do certain things so that he can feel not that. You're trying to get your point across, and usually it will be the exact same thing because it'll be a mirror, just told in two different ways, but you're both trying to get a particular outcome. Both of you are trying to get to be heard. Both of you are trying to get back to balance. So he comes to you because you're his wife. Is he doing it because out of duty, companionship, loneliness? Is this his language? Is this the way that you guys have learned to communicate as a way to, this is our language? So that could be the love dance. We don't know. Well, we do, but I'm not telling you. You have to understand what's the mirror saying. If it's piss poor me, where the fuck am I doing that I still have to see that? Do I have to use it on others so that I can be heard? Where is it that I need to constantly receive that in order to feel like I'm important? Do you understand these mirrors? What did you have to do when you were little? What did you see? Your mother made a major clear about how she spoke to you.
Yeah, I had to, what's the word? Live up to her expectations.
Would you say you have lack of self-love?
I didn't catch that.
Lack of self-love.
Yes.
Okay. And understand that even when you try to do self-love, if you don't take the roots out, the triggers, you're going to reject your self-love, and then you'll live out two sides of your face. I have self-love. I have value. This is how I want to show up. And then your program or your GPS says, oh my God, ah! Totally opposite. But this is the program that's running. You can try all you want to overcome and look good over here. But shit's going to keep hitting the fan because the program is leaving them. How much of your will are you putting out there? Do you have to be indebted to them in order to stay safe? To have money, to have a home, to have whatever. Do you understand? You have to look at where do you feel like you're lacking something, and the only way you can survive is if they fill it. Because you two got together not based on love.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the main reason you two got together?
Next logical step.
Good job. I feel crooked all of a sudden as I'm looking to your camera. I want to slide off your shelf. That's what I want to do. I literally feel like I can't catch my balance. I want to just slide off your shelf. Literally, that's what you do for your life. Is that you can't get balanced. Wouldn't it be nice if it was just that easy turning the camera? Sensation or that feeling that things are going to be out of balance all the time. You just have to adjust your lens. Thank you, Spirit.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Now notice how Spirit just taught you by the camera lesson. It can be that easy. Now you have to face those fears. If you got up and says, okay, I'm going to initiate divorce. I want you to hear what the next minute, I would say the next 30 minutes was going to be all about. You got up, you took action. I want you to hear all of your fears. This is where you're going to get a tape recorder or turn on a Zoom and just let yourself pour out a message. You wrote a letter from your future and says, you got to heal this shit so you can be happy. Deliberately take an action. You go online, you get a lawyer, you do whatever you got to do. You got to see, oh, I got to do this, this, and that. Oh, I got to get the deed to this house. I heal. Again, you don't leave him until you heal your shit because you don't want to take that with you into the next relationship, no matter what and who and when and where. And, but because you don't want worse than the first.
No.
Now, he really wasn't that bad of a guy, but you've gotten to the point where you're intolerant of some things, and you need to heal that intolerant out first, because if you don't, you may miss a big thing that he's actually showing you. Do you understand? You may have had and that usually means that you have to find the strength so you can rock the boat. You can find the strength and have the confidence back that you can self-love and say, I'm worth this, and I'm taking myself off the damn discount rack and rip up that discount price. And I don't have to be convinced all the time that I'm worth. Ah, yes, remember the motto, heal it. Heal it, deal it. Okay, that one, remember? Heal it.
Oh, heal it.
What's that?
Heal it to heal it.
What's the next one? Heal instead of deal. You got this. You got support. No matter where we are, we support you. Now double check just to make sure there is no more
emails.
Yes. Feel it to heal it. Yeah, it's a good phrase because resolve to evolve. I mean, if you don't really get in there, then you won't really know what your soul's talking about. That's why the becoming a spiritual human, designing your life, getting to your authenticity has its own glossary. Because this is a new movement that we're moving into. This is you, your authentic self, you're moving into. And I think I might just go ahead and start to, like I said, once I get the image I want, then I can start putting you into the room and understand you're paying for 30 days and you get to decide, and hopefully I can work on that today. Anything, Amy? Anything?
One. Man.
medicine. You have to behave a certain way that you don't want to. Like you have to become extra bossy, extra bitchy, extra this. And you're like, I don't want to do that. Why can't people be responsible to taking care of their own shit? That's because they don't want to be accountable. The thing that they're referring to is that you don't want to dishonor anybody when they ask you for his. Kind of like the awkward feeling will come in, and then this is the best way I know how to show up. But you're also moving in and out of, I like to keep my karma balanced instead of like this. And how do you help somebody to be accountable when they're in your ear? You have to step back and you'll have to just show up differently. And if you can't do that, you're going to have to heal the feeling that drives you to behave a certain way. And when it drives you to behave a certain way, understand the only way to do it is resolve that emotion out. Okay, emotion is a chemical peptide. It's like a key that locks into your cells and drives your cells all over the place. And then you repeat to doing the habit, repeat to behaving a certain way. And you're like, oh, darn it, I didn't want to do that. Well, you have to resolve the emotion out, which changes the thoughts, which helps you change the habit. But you have to become aware of the habit. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it. No is your best word. No. You really do. Okay. So I think we're all good. I don't see anybody else. And you guys are great. Congratulations, Linda. I'm glad that we were able to do this. Oh, Sharon just popped. 1:18 in Michigan, a.m. Yeah, we're still here. We're just about ready to get off the air. But if, Sharon, if you want to play, you know how that goes. Or if you want a reading, all the month of May, anybody that pays gets into the treasure chest.
April.
Oh, April. God darn it. Holy crap. I was already a month ahead of you. I know in Australia, I am the future woman. Anyway, so if Sharon, if you want a paid reading, let me know. Because we're just about ready to wrap it up.
Only 15 and a half hours difference. That's all.
Now, when I move back, it should be 14 and a half hours, right?
No, I think I'll go back to 16.
We'll wait until the day happens, and then we'll calculate 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yep.
Oh, Angela Allen says I sent an email. Could you check that, please?
I did not get it. There were a few that had to resend a couple times tonight.
What's going on with our emails? Just the account?
No, because then they came through later. So I'm wondering if it isn't everybody,
Well, if everybody's home, locked up in their little houses, and that is, I'm going to tell you, self-solitude, I like it. A lot of people don't like it, especially if you're an extrovert, but I like it. I wouldn't mind going out, and that sunshine's gorgeous. But yeah. Yes. So Linda says self-love equals self-empowerment. You know your worth. You are worthy of pure joy and love. You are a warrior, Amy. Warriors. That's what it sounds like to me. I can't say it. But yes, I believe in empowerment. I believe in that. I used to teach the class Empowerment Through Enlightenment, and I still am. I'm just changing the name a little bit. Okay, so I think I just heard it. I felt it. I don't know what it was I felt, but I'm going to Sharon.
I think she is going to pay to play.
Okay, all I can feel is somebody's here. Something's happening. I'm getting it. I'm feeling it. Don't break your phone, Sharon. You'll be good. But yes, so that'll be good. I get to see what we get to do. Huh?
Just talking.
What about
that?
Yeah.
Clean out your ears.
Where did it go again? I didn't feel that one fall. What are they doing every time? I did not even know that fell out. And out she goes. Oh, Sharon.
Just talking about it, the pain has lessened.
Good job. Well, let's make sure we can get the rest out of the body. But guess who's here to play?
Here.
Hi, darling. I am happy, healthy, and strong. And you, how are you doing?
Love your hair.
Thank you. I am not sure what's going on with me. I do not look like the same woman that I started off with this morning. So but thank you. It helps me, that vote of confidence.
Oh, and by the way, I've got a band on here because when we went to work today, everybody was shot with one of those instruments to measure your temperature, and if it was over 100 degrees or something, they would not let you work today.
Okay.
They got all the doors locked.
Okay. And so what does the green mean?
It just means today's color is green. I don't know what tomorrow will be.
Okay. So you didn't have it and you went to work.
And you have to have it in order to get in the door and have it on all day, or they'll make you do it again. They're like locking down the plant.
Wow. Well, at least that people are taking serious. Now, have anybody at your job, have they got it?
Nobody has it, but a couple of like engineers, their wives or girlfriend had been positive tested, so they had to leave and their department had to feel it's a threat to me or the people that I work immediately with. I don't feel that it is.
So that less fear is there. That's good. So let's make sure we don't go there. I like that. So, see, the difference of why she said this, because she doesn't hold that fear, that that's the best part.
I'm not drawing it in.
Exactly. All right. So what would you like me to do, my dear?
Whatever's up with spirit for me today.
People that have fanatic energy are so focused on the same shit and they won't let it go. Have you seen anybody do that just recently?
Yeah, a few at work.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them have taken 30 days leave.
Okay.
Up to 30 days leave.
And what did you feel happens to you when they do that? What do you do towards yourself? What do you know?
I stop and ask myself, do you think it's that serious right now? And it's no, I don't.
Okay.
Maybe farther on down the line it might be, but
Okay.
I feel in no danger at this point.
Now, even if there was no coronavirus and these same people begin to act that way, what do you do with your energy? Do you expand it or contract it? What do you feel that you do?
I hold it in a little bit and analyze it and then let it out.
Okay. Does she do that? Okay. So what they said is that you do, what happens is that you can, on a physical level, not consciously, but you automatically begin to contract your energy. And if I ask Spirit, okay, so it's your connection to Earth. Do you do more grounding? Sort of, so that toward yourself, you create an auto response and you become overbearing toward yourself. Because if you talk yourself into doing that, then you kind of can soothe the alarm. It's a way that you take care of that alarm feeling. So use a part of you, if you don't do it, then you're going to hear extreme disapproval. Now, does that, okay, she says that makes sense. Okay, so I have to soothe myself just enough. They kind of not want you to do that anymore, because in order for this next part of you, it is to expand the energy to draw to you safety. Right now, you would be drawing stuff you don't need. And one of the things you would be drawing is people that just keep showing you rejection. And they said the reason is because your 1 month old, your 1 month old self believes that you were rejected. So you learn to reject yourself first. So if I do it to myself first, they won't do it.
No.
Now, here's an interesting twist, because your 5-year-old self is like a cocky little girl.
Yeah.
And yet you're arguing with your 1 month old that says, I'm not sure exactly what it says. It says if there's a broadcast message is like, well, I don't give a crap if they don't like me. I don't like them first. Okay, so she's fully aware of this. No, not ready to heal, but what are you willing to do? Notice. Now, do you feel like you hate that? I hate when they act like this. Do you do that hate thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I object to it.
Okay, you object, but notice how it's like, Okay, see how, just stare at it, give it 0 to 10. Yep, there you go, from 0 to 10. And it really happens at work a lot, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
And I want you to look to the lower left and hear the self-dialogue of how you're just going to bitch about it.
I go around the corner behind something and blah, 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 blah.
Very good, very good. And notice now, look to the lower left. And now you got to feel that self-talk. And you feel it in your body. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to remove, transcend, and let go of the negative emotions. And you're like, but just let it go. And as you do, look through your left eye only. And notice that you give yourself instructions how to behave. Do you do that?
Oh, yeah. So let it go, let it go, let it go. Drop it.
Okay. Now understand that it is the little part of you that says that 1 month old that was saying, I need to let go of who I am.
No.
So you turn that on yourself. Your 1 month old says, oh my God, I gotta let go of who I am so that I will be loved. Now understand, you were shamed for crying out loud. Did you guys go to church when you were younger? Did you?
Sometimes, but I don't remember that early.
Well, there's
Only
something
about
to do with
2 years.
public. And I think you were making a 1 month old, don't just ignore that. You have to understand a 1 month old is going to cry. But
Yes.
if you were doing it in a place where you weren't supposed to, I think your mother got shamed for having a child that was noisy. Does that make sense?
It could be, yes.
And she felt bullied by the whole thing, and so did you.
It could be because my brother was born dead like 3 years before me, and I was her only first child, and then there was my sister after.
And I feel there's, okay, right now, I feel like there's a deficiency inside of you that you couldn't do it right. And what you're doing is you're identifying with your mama's feelings. Okay? But you
That would
think
be right.
you feel like they're your own though. And you can feel all the energy that people are spitting out to her. And she has got all of this low self-esteem, this panic that she doesn't want the people to upset the people.
Right.
It's very confusing for you. And I want you to just feel the overwhelm. And that's why you have to go and bitch. So feel the overwhelm. Remove, transcend, and let it go. Feel the overwhelm. Feel how you feel like all these people are right and you're not. Feel these lofty people. And it's just like, just feel the instructions that you have to give yourself, and you have to keep being in this. And notice that the little child has judged that moment, that there's more superior than her, or that, oh, here they go again. But it's blocking you from hearing your intuitive self.
And I'm very blocked from connecting with myself.
Have you been giving yourself, well, I want to say that, have you got any physical pain?
Just in my hip, but it's less than it was, but it's still there.
Right. And why, and how can you thrust yourself forward into what you want if you're giving yourself instructions to kind of basically stay where you are while they throw their loftiness around? And you're the little girl that inside that thinks I've done something wrong and I can't be me. So do you feel like when you're at work, you can't?
True.
Just feel that. And you've learned that when you're in romantic relationships, that when you tried to be you, they squashed it.
Yeah, they shut me down.
Understand that's your 1-month-old that thinks that's what has to happen in a relationship. So we're going to remove, transcend, and let it go, let it go. And I'm going to ask that part of yourself, can you come back? And they said yes. But the only thing is you got to be willing to expand yourself. And this is when every time you start to expand yourself, you start to drift off. And then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, you're sitting on the chair and the couch and you're like, wait a minute. I thought I was doing what I wanted to do. Does this make sense?
Go ahead.
Okay. And it's the one key thing you do is you have to discourage yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're in that space and you're looking at Ghost, and Ghost is going, there's a feeling of the lack of control. And that's kind of like what your mom felt. It felt the lack of control. It felt like the unworthy. It felt like the energy was, so I want you to call back your energy. I want you to call back your energy. And as you call back the energy, I want you to notice, Mom, this is yours. You're going to give it back to her. And then those people, you're going to just say, no, this is your gunk. We don't want it. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to find me. And I'm going to put energy back in. That's me. I'm going to fill up my core of me. And I approve of me. And now, and as you do that, I want you to notice that when your mom looks at you, what great approval she has, how much love she has. And I want you to fill that up. And I want you to notice that the only people that were disapproving was these people that couldn't get it their way. They wanted their way. They wanted a particular outcome because they have a lot of fear. They have a lot of issues. And you don't have to take those on. Say, no, that's yours. I reject that. That's your life. I don't have to take on yours. You need to be accountable for your own. So just start pushing that energy away.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, that'll be your next thing, because that is about disapproval. So I want you to take in on a scale from 0 to 10, how do you feel right now?
About a 4.
And understand that 4 has to do with build back up. I want you to take your hand down, and I want you to do you have a piece of paper and pencil there?
Yes.
I need you to write down disapproval.
Okay.
And notice.
Okay.
And what would really happen if you expanded who you are? Do you have to do it in a fighting way? Or do you just show up like you do here, very pretty and happy and joyful? And what would happen? How would you have to expand yourself?
Only in a neutral manner.
Okay, because they don't
not make waves.
All right, that's it. Say, can't make waves. That is going to be your hurdle. And the reason why is because that was a big one for me. I can't rock the boat. And as I got older, is like everybody's telling me I can't rock the boat. And I said to my sister and beat her because it was my fault. So I learned to contract my energy. I learned to not be me. Understand why. You have to hear that. So that'll be your experience, that you're going to be gathering information, grace and ease. Thank you, Spirit. So you can get there. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you for coming on and playing. I really appreciate you. And you can do this. I know you can. Your body to repair itself quickly. Anything, you don't have to go in any of that fear either. As I'm looking at your left brain and right brain, I have to say, after our healing, you're still holding pretty good.
I used a magnet on myself a few times after. I seem more balanced.
Good, good. We're going to finish now. That's probably why you can go into the next phase of that you have to heal. But you got this. I know you do. They already told me that you just have to stare at the habit. Ooh, that's when I do it. Ooh, that's when I do it. When you close down your energy, that's when I do it. I can't rock the boat. That's when I do it. I have to be, polite and natural and neutral because that's when I do it. So you're going to be looking for when you do it, going into the treasure chest. I love that.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, honey.
Bye. Stay blessed.
Oh, you too. Stay blessed. Okay. So Angela Allen, we are going to give you that reading. And Amy's going to look again to see if there's any more.
Nope, it's just Angela in general.
Okay, so there's been some depleting energy. That's interesting, and it's based out of habit. And it just kind of comes up. It kind of comes up. So if you start feeling depleted, if I ask, can you give me a little bit more for her? And they said, you're meeting an arrested development. And that is, when did you stop your growth? At 3 years old, you stopped your growth based on you turned and you had to have a reaction. And your reaction, you stayed in that reaction. And behavior, it was safe for you just to stay depleted. And now that you have a good space and a good people and good love of your life, you don't have to, you got to learn to help train the body not to feel like it has to go and stay. And then they're saying that if you held L3D, you can stop putting yourself in the it position. Okay? That sounds good. So you guys have been great. I really appreciate all of you. And what do we always say? We say heal instead of deal.
Heal it to feel it. No, feel it to heal it.
Resolve to evolve. Resolve to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
You can heal that.
And stay blessed.
Rain fall onto you and take the blessings. Don't let it roll off onto somebody else. If you want to, that's fine. You can share act of random kindness. All right. See you next week. See you next week. Bye.